Let me ask you, which do you think is better? Paper Towns stars Nat Wolff, Cara Delevingne, and an array of other young adult actors. This film is about a reserved boy named Quentin going on a late-night adventure with his lifelong crush, the daring Margot Ross Spiegelman. However, after their late-night adventure, it seems as if she has disappeared as she has not shown up to school. So Quentin takes it upon himself to try and find Margot along with his two buddies who tag along. So I read Paper Towns over the summer and I completely fell in love with it. After I finished reading it, I decided to look at the previews for the movie as I knew the film was coming out pretty soon, and I watched it and I was really quite looking forward to the movie, as well as it seemed as if the movie was really going to serve the book justice. However, watching the movie, it really didn't. And I get that normally books are better than the movies, and I tried to view this film without having the knowledge from the book and different things that differ, but there were some plot points in this movie that really, there are certain plot points in the book that could have served this movie really well, and I might get into it in the spoiler section at the end of this video. There were really some things that I loved. Ben was everything that I imagined him to be, and the chemistry that the three actors had, Nat Wolff and the guys who played Raider and Ben, they had great chemistry, and I really bought them as friends, and that was awesome to see. I also really love the soundtrack to this film. On a side note, it's like great alternative synth stuff that I listened to, and I quite enjoyed it. I'm thinking about picking up the soundtrack to this. But there were lots of stuff that I did not like in this movie. It seemed as if they were taking it way too serious, and it came off as a sappy romance movie at times. And as far as getting someone hooked with this story, there are certain stuff that happens in the plot where it just slows down, and it's really hard to have someone buy into this. And because I read the book, I was really invested in the story. But if I was comparing this as a movie on its own, I would find myself really out of it, and I really wanted to be into the mystery of trying to find Margot. But I felt as if I just wanted to see Radar, Ben, and Quentin goofing off all the time. I loved when those scenes came up, and the rest was just kind of blah. And the blah, that was kind of a poor choice of words, but there was lots of things that happened in this movie that it's just wrong, and that's really disappointing. Is there was lots that this movie had going for it. Not only was the chemistry good, but all the actors did a very good job. I mean, there was not a flat performance, but I felt as if the screenplay just bogged this movie down. It starts off really strong, and it kind of piddles out for a bit, and it picks back up for the road trip part, and then it slowly dwindles out till you get to the end. And then it's just dragging its feet, trying to reach kind of the cliche ending. I mean, the last scene's pretty cliche, but let's not get into that. It was disappointing. I was really looking forward to this as being kind of the next big underrated coming of age film. However, it really wasn't, and it got swiped up and this. I can't find the word right now, but it's just. It's disappointing to say the least. So I know some complaints from both the movie and the book are problems with the ending, and I'm going to be flat out and say it. The ending in both suck. However, you got to give it time to let it sink in, and especially with the book. You get to the ending and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? And then you let it sink in and you're like, oh, it has such a great message and I can really relate to it. And that is something the movie tries to do, but it ultimately fails into this just being a shitty ending. And it tries to convey the message, but it just doesn't reach it. And that was disappointing for me too. I really wanted to love this movie, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I just need to revisit it, read the book, and watch the movie and pick out different things that the movie could have done better. However, yeah, I still could relate to Quentin, Raider, and Ben as I am basically them. If you've read the book or seen the movie, that is me. I am the awesome nerdy guy, I guess. I mean, I fucking do movie reviews, so yeah. So Paper Towns can offer a good time. The comedy in it is smart, and I'm glad they included some things from the book. That just made me happy. So this movie does have a lackluster story, a lackluster, takes itself too serious story. So overall, I can't really like give this a bad rating. However, Paper Towns gets a light 6 out of 10. Alright guys, I'm going to move into some spoilers right now, so if you have not seen the movie or read the book, I would recommend not continuing to watch this video until you've done either or, and then come back and watch it. So let's get on with it. Okay, so first off, I didn't like how the movie wrapped up too nicely. I mean, Q made it back just in time for his grad. I mean, I really would have preferred if they would have stuck to the book with them leaving during their grad ceremony, going to find Margot, instead of just like, oh, we made it back, I hate grad, but now I love it, and I made it back, and I'm here with all my new friends and shit like that. It was just kind of like, okay. As well as, it seemed like they solved the mystery of where Margot was pretty fast. I mean, the first 15 to 20 minutes deals with Q and Margot going on their, like, 9 things Margot needs to do that night. And then for the other 40 minutes, Q's trying to find out where she is. Then you reach the first hour and they're on the road trip, which is probably my favorite part of the movie as well as my favorite part of the book. And I do not have any complaints about that. I feel like that was handled the best. However, like I was saying with the mystery, I mean, it felt like Q figured it out, like all of them figured it out way too fast. I wish he would have been visiting like the other paper towns around his area, as it would have created more tension and a need to find Margot. And that was definitely a bigger complaint for me. A small little thing that I would have like seen thrown in there is Q explaining how Radar is just Radar's nickname. I don't remember his full name offhand, but that is not his given name, and I think that it would have given the audience another laugh, as those laughs come few and far in between, but when they hit, they sure do hit. Yeah. Alright, that is about it, guys. I feel like I'm missing something that I want to talk about with this movie. However, that's all I can really say. Disappointed. I really wanted to love this movie. However, I didn't. So if you guys like this, if you enjoyed this video, please smack that like button. As always, share it to your friends. Let them know that, hey, the movie isn't as good as the book, as usual. So, stay tuned for my next review, which might be of this bad boy right here. I picked it up just the other day. It's Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome. I've only seen the 4th movie, so I guess I'm going backwards, actually. Yeah, expect a review of that soon, or of something else, so stay tuned to my channel as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!